Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. It'll be a very demanding day for everyone. Several mountain passes and a summit finish await you. This is a key stage for the general classification. I hope you're in good condition, because we've got to defend the yellow jersey. Even if defending it remains the priority, we can also consider the stage win if the Baroudeurs don't get too much of a lead. Have a good day, guys. Come on, we're aiming for victory!
Hi everyone. This stage in the Pyrenees falls somewhere between classic and new. The Tourmalet has traditionally been the pass used the most by the Tour de France and is a regular checkpoint. On the other hand, the finish line in Gavarnie-Gèdre is a new location for this race. And this new stop could benefit the Baroudeurs, because the climb up its long but gentle slope is probably not challenging enough for the favourites to make any major moves.
Guys, it's a mountain stage today, but the final stretch towards Gavarnie-Gèdre won't be too challenging. It's rolling terrain, and won't necessarily give the pure climbers any advantage. Have a good race.
He's starting the first attack without delay.
There's plenty of damage at the back of the peloton. It will be a long day in the saddle for those who fall behind.
Another one who's motivated to spend the day up front.
If one of the big favourites for the Tour tries to escape, his direct rivals will get their teammates to ride. This is why the big players wait for the end before attacking.
A 1 minute gap for the breakaway. The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary.
It looks like the pace is already increasing. Stay vigilant. He's the best placed in the overall standings amongst those at the head of the race. His team is at full throttle. They have no one at the front. He's the highest placed of the climbers in the breakaway.
The breakaway can't widen the gap. time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary. A thoroughbred climber, it's not surprising to find the Australian Michael Storer at the front of the race on mountain stages. Thanks to his high-profile exploits at the start of the 2024 season, Joseph Blackmore earned a rapid promotion. From the month of March, he moved up from Israel Premier Tech's development team to the first team squad. With 2 stage victories in the 2025 Tour de France, Thymen Arensman is now one of the world's best climbers. Thomas Pidcock is an all-rounder gem. Double Olympic cross-country gold medalist, cyclocross world champion, stage winner on the Alpe d'Huez, but also these in the Hilly Classics, the British rider is able to shine in almost any terrain. Here's a climber we find at the front of the race in the person of Max Poole.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The lead is starting to be significant. 1 minute 30 for the front of the race. And here's the ranking for the last mountains classification climb.
Watch out, guys. The breakaway is beginning to build up a good lead. Since we've got the jersey, and if we don't ride, it's not certain that other teams will put in a shift in our place. There could be a big time difference at the finish if we don't have someone managing the gap. Wearing the jersey implies certain responsibilities. Team members must ensure the tempo of the race, and they, therefore, tire more. That is why it is sometimes better not to take the overall lead too early, in order to avoid tiring one's team.
A good climber, Guillaume Martin, always rises to the occasion when the going gets tough. British rider Oscar Only is an up-and-coming climber and puncher. Although he only had 1 World Tour victory by the end of the 2025 season, his list of honours could quickly grow. Stage winner on the 3 Grand Tours, the Australian Ben O'Connor is one of the best climbers in the peloton. The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. When going downhill, the aerodynamic position is useful to increase speed without expending energy. Guys, don't forget to protect our leader. Communication is important. That's why we have team comm. Guys, nobody seems to want to take on the chase of the breakaway. As we're race leaders, we've got to shoulder our responsibility and set the pace in the peloton.
The gap with the yellow jersey is melting away. The SKPs will have difficulties going all the way to the finish. Since his general classification success on the 2021 Tour de l'Avenir, the Norwegian rider Tobias Halland Johannessen has made steady progress. After numerous honourable mentions and a few victories, we can expect to see him regularly raise his arms. He's an excellent puncher who also knows how to climb in the mountains. On the other hand, it's better for him that he finishes alone because his capabilities as a sprinter really are limited. And we're off on another climb, and this one counts towards the mountains classification. Once again, there will be 2 and 1 points to be pocketed. With 4 top 10 places in the World Tour stage race overall classification in his first season as a professional, Kian Ortebroeks rapidly demonstrated all the potential first glimpse in the junior categories. After a spell of physical setbacks, he resumed his progress in the second half of the 2025 season. If his problems don't return, we can expect him to feature regularly at the very top of the classifications. The gap to the front of the race is barely changing.
Here's the ranking at the top of the last climb.
Although his list of achievements is short, at the side of his various leaders, Mikel Landa has proved that he's one of the best climbers in the peloton. He's a pure climber, able to follow the very best when he's in shape. The first 15 to the intermediate sprint score points for the green jersey standings. And it's a safe bet that the sprinters will try to amass a few before sitting up to form the Grupetto and face the Aspin and Tourmalet passes.
first riders have reached the intermediate sprint.
The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings. Brian Cocard is one of the best French sprinters. Watch out for him in mass sprint finishes.
And this is the winner of the intermediate sprint.
The front of the race is coming to the feed zone. The front of the race will soon be getting down to the serious business. In less than 5 kilometers, they'll begin the ascent of the Col d'Aspin. Here's the Col d'Aspin. This first ascent is well known to riders because it is regularly climbed by the Tour de France. With 2 stage victories in the 2025 Tour de France, Thymen Arensman is now one of the world's best climbers. British rider Oscar Only is an up-and-coming climber and puncher. Although he only had 1 World Tour victory by the end of the 2025 season, his list of honours could quickly grow. Here's a climber we find at the front of the race in the person of Max Poole.
The pace has picked up a notch. It's best to stay well positioned, guys.
Stage winner on the 3 Grand Tours, the Australian Ben O'Connor is one of the best climbers in the peloton. All those lists of achievements is short. At the side of his various leaders, Mikel Landa has proved that he's one of the best climbers in the peloton. The Col d'Aspin will bring 10 points to the rider who's first over the top. The gap with the yellow jersey is melting away. The escapees will have difficulties going all the way to the finish.
Tempo is increasing at the head of the race. The breakaway riders will try and manage the time gap.
Since his general classification success on the 2021 Tour de l'Avenir, the Norwegian rider Tobias Halland Johannessen has made steady progress. After numerous honourable mentions and a few victories, we can expect to see him regularly raise his arms. The Tourmalet will be the second major pass to be climbed today. As the Aspin just before, it's a classic among the classics. It's even the most visited pass by the Tour de France since its creation.
The peloton has picked up the pace. You need to stay well positioned, guys. Go, guys. You've got to keep up the rhythm to defend the yellow jersey. The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
The first riders are beginning the ascent to the Tourmalet. If in the first 5 kilometers after Sainte-Marie-de-Campan the percentages are fairly reasonable, the rest of the ascent is far more demanding because the slope hardly drops below 8%. A relentless climb.
He's the highest placed of the climbers in the breakaway.
The yellow jersey is catching up fast. The breakaway can't hold on much longer. The men at the front are now onto the steep slopes of the Tourmalet. The Tourmalet is a very steep mountain pass that offers almost no respite until the top. The gap between the peloton and front of the race has shrunk. It's now 1 minute 30. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey. The breakaway increases its lead on the yellow jersey group. The front of the race is approaching the La Mongie ski resort. They will soon be less than 5 kilometers from the summit. The Tourmalet is classified all category. It will earn 20 points towards the polka dot jersey for the first ride over the top. Rider Oscar Only is an up-and-coming climber and puncher. Although he only had one World Tour victory by the end of the 2025 season, his list of honours could quickly grow. Stage winner on the 3 Grand Tours, the Australian Ben O'Connor is one of the best climbers in the peloton.
I don't know if it's a bluff, but the breakaway looks to be increasing the pace at the front of the race.
The ascent of the Tourmalet will soon be over for the man to the front. The chasers aren't far, so it's possible that they catch him on the way down.
He took the lead during the last King of the Mountains climb. Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall. He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings.
Although his list of achievements is short, at the side of his various leaders, Mikel Landa has proved that he's one of the best climbers in the peloton. The yellow jersey's catching up fast. The breakaway can't hold on much longer. The front of the race is at the bottom of the Tourmalet descent. The final climb to Gavarnie-Gèdre begins at the Luz-Saint-Sauveur exit. And this is the final climb, nearly 19 kilometers uphill, but with an average gradient of barely 4%. It's certainly what you'd call rolling terrain. Remember that the rider who wins in Gavarnie-Gèdre will also earn 10 points for the best climber classification. The gap between the peloton and front of the race has shrunk. It's now 1 minute 30. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey. There's now a 1 minute gap between the breakaway and the peloton. The yellow jersey group is 1 minute from the head of the race. The breakaway has a 1 minute lead. The lead group is 10 kilometers from the summit. The latest time check shows 30 seconds between the peloton and breakaway. The lead group is 5 kilometers from the finish.
Try to manage things so that you don't blow up before the line.
Only 3 kilometers left, and no one has managed to get away on his own at the front. Will there be any attacks before the sprint? Come on. Only 2 kilometers left for the lead group. It should come down to a sprint. And here's the red pennant for the lead group. victory is for one of them.
You seem to be running on empty. Lift your foot if you don't want to blow up. Come on, stay focused. You'll beat them.
Ladies and gentlemen, applaud him loudly. Here is the winner of the fourth Gavarnie-Gèdre stage, Michelanda. Congratulations to him. He really was the strongest. He fully deserves this. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here's the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future, but for now he can relish the moment. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here's the green jersey of this Tour de France. Tadej Pogačar! Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future, but for now he can relish the moment. He's in sparkling form and you can clap him loudly. Here's the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France. Tadej Pogačar! Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future, but for now he can relish the moment. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here's the white jersey of this Tour de France. For success! He will be able to hang this jersey in his trophy room. Let's hope for him that he can add more.
The result is clearly not up to my expectations, guys. It isn't catastrophic, but when you've got victory in mind, it's obviously a disappointment. We retain the yellow jersey. It's today's source of comfort.